Hi, Verbling. Hope you're all having a great day today. My name is Lauren, and this is our fifth and final class on homonyms today. Homonyms. And I can't believe how quickly it's gone by. I will be doing another one next weekend, and I hope that I hope it is just as good as today, because we are learning so much new so many new words of vocabulary. And these are basically just random words of vocabulary because we are learning about homonyms. So homonyms are words that sound the same but have different meanings. So words that sound the same but have different meanings. Are you excited, Andre?
Yes.
More words.
But I'm sad because this is the last class today.
I know.
Yes,
I know.
I'm so sad.
Are you going to cry?
Yes, probably. My heart is crying.
Your heart is crying.
Yes.
That's beautiful. That is like poetry.
Yes.
Yes.
And we have Shady.
Yes, for the
Shady, you're
fourth
here.
time.
I know. I can't believe it. I can't believe how quickly it's gone by, too. It's going by so fast. And welcome back, Marlo. How are you doing, Marlo? How are you doing, Marlo? Marlo must be frozen
I think
something.
it's Mario.
Mario.
I think it's
Sorry.
Mario, not
Oh
Marlo.
my gosh. I have called him Marlo for every class he's been in. I'm gonna wait because it looks like his screen is frozen, and he normally has no problems with his microphone and screen. So I'll wait for a little bit.
We used this word in last class, frozen, freeze.
Yeah, we did. We did. What does the word freeze mean?
Below, under 0 Celsius.
Yes, under 0 degrees Celsius. And what does that mean if something is frozen?
You died?
No.
Yes. If an animal is frozen or a human being froze, they are dead. Yes.
Hypothermical or not?
Hypothermia.
Yes, hypothermia.
Hypothermia. Yes, yes. Okay, good. So we have so Mario?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Good. Mario, I have a question.
Yeah.
I have been saying your name as Marlo all this time.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't have the opportunity to tell you because and I was say maybe someday I will tell you that my name is Mario, not Marlo. But I was waiting for that time.
Lauren, you are a pronunciation teacher. Oh my God.
I know. Oh my gosh, Mario, you are so polite. I can't believe
Yeah, because each time in class, so everything is busy, and so I didn't want to. And but
that
it's
is so
okay.
funny.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
We're going to learn a new word today. It is called embarrassment. When you are embarrassed.
So, but it was okay.
And
Marlo is not so bad.
And there are another word too, Mario and Marlo.
It's a homonym.
Yeah. So, rule number 1: read your students' names. Read them first before you start telling them the wrong name. But the reason this is why, Mario. It's because every time I see the I, my computer font is so small. The letters are so small on my computer that I can't. The letters are so small that I can't see the space between the I and the dot.
Okay.
So it looks like an L. So
Okay.
so Shady and Andre just told me. They said, Lauren, I don't think that's his name.
It's a noun.
I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry.
No, it's okay.
Good. And we have Jeremy. Hi, Jeremy.
Hi,
Hi, how are you doing?
fine, fine. And you?
I'm doing good. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And we have Furkan. Welcome back, Furkan.
Thank you.
And we have Nicholas. Welcome today, Nicholas.
Hi, Lauren. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Did you go to any tango shows since our last class?
No, no, no. I went. I went one time.
Only one
at
time?
tango show. Yes.
If I lived in Argentina, I would go every day.
Yes. Here in my city, is not too much tango shows. In Buenos Aires, I more have more.
One side there's more, but your side there's not very many.
No, no, no.
I see. I see. Okay, and we have Talita. Talita, you got in.
Yes.
Yay!
Yes.
Yes.
Yay.
Lauren, I'm just kidding, all right?
Oh,
About
well, I was very sad.
I was just kidding.
I know, I'm kidding. That's okay, Talita. Great, and we have William again. Welcome back, William.
Thank you, teacher.
Good. We have Zhao. Welcome back, Zhao.
Hello, teacher.
Hi.
Thank you. Hi. Can you
You're
hear me?
welcome. Yes, I can hear you great.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Great. So for everyone who is watching, I'm sure you know what homonyms are by now, but quickly, a homonym, homonyms are words that sound the same. So they sound the same, have the same pronunciation, but they have different spellings and different meanings. Different spellings and different meanings. If you are watching the class, you can go to the link that I posted at the beginning of the chat, but I will repost it now in the Verbling chat. And also post it in the Google chat for anyone who is only looking at the Google chat. But if you can see the Verbling chat instead, that is a better one to look at because you can see everyone's contributions. You will be able to see everyone's contributions to the class and all of their questions. Asem, I see that you are typing in the chat. Asem, this is how you join a Verbling class. When the little button, there's going to be a little green button that is up here right above the screen. It will say start, or it will say join class. When it turns green, you can join the class. But if it does not turn green, that means the class is full. So there is no room in the class. Only 9 students can join a class at one time. Only 9. So when you see it turn green, then you can join. Great. Great. Okay. So let's get started. As you know, again, I posted that link, but you do not need to use the link today. You can just watch my screen, and I will be typing all of your examples into the same link that we have been using all day and the same link we used last week, which means that all of the changes and all of the examples you come up with, I will be putting them into the document and you will see them all saved next time you open up the Google document. Okay? Any questions about that?
No, 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 no.
No.
We're good? Great.
Yes.
Great. So let's get started. We have this, we finished before at gorilla, which was the animal, like Godzilla. Ah!
No.
And then we have gorilla, which is the really, really bad people who go against the government and normally, as we discussed, kill many bad people. Okay. So now let's move on to the next ones, which are grade and grade. grade and grade, both the exact same pronunciation. But grade, it can mean a slope, but I'm going to give you the more common definition is actually like a grade in school.
It's cool. Yes, we asked about it.
Yes.
About the temperature.
Yes. Or wait, for temperature?
Yeah.
Degrees, I think.
Yeah. So when you talk about a grade, a slope is something that is on an angle. Like this. Show you. Oh, and I will just explain one more time. I have to in all the classes. Google has changed. For everyone who is watching, Google has changed, I think a few days ago. So now, Verbling teachers and Verbling students, we are not able to type at the same time that we are talking because our computers sense that we are typing, and now Google Hangouts automatically mutes us. It automatically mutes us. So we do not have the choice to turn this off. Hopefully they will change that soon, but for now, I must stop talking when I'm typing something. So I'm very
That's
sorry.
what happened in the last class.
Yes, exactly. And it's happening to all of the Verbling teachers. All of us. It's very, very annoying. Okay, great. So, a slope is anything that is on an angle. So this is not a slope. This is not a slope, but this is a slope. So for example, if you are saying a grade is still on a slope. You have grade 1, 2, 3, 4, so it all goes up until you are finished university. So a grade can mean a slope. It means a slope. So if you are talking about a grade in school, you are still talking about a slope. So that's what it means.
Teacher, we can have a street in a grade way. Street or avenue in a grade way with an angle like this, like you showed for us.
What do you mean, like a grade? Did you say a grade angle?
Yes, I'm talking about grade angles. A street with a grade way. I want to say something like that.
Oh, do you mean great, like G-R-E-A-T?
G-R-A-D-E. Grade.
Grade.
Or a slope.
Great.
Grade is a slope, yes.
Yes, we have a street with an angle sometimes.
Sorry, you said we have a street with an angle?
Yes.
Yeah, like San Francisco have street
Yes.
up and down.
Yes, I'm so sorry. Absolutely. If there is a street or a road, either one, with an angle, you can say the street is on has a grade or is on a grade. But we normally say the word slope. We normally say the word slope. This is why when you are talking about grades, you are talking about a specific point on the slope. So you won't say she is in a grade in school. Or she is in the grade of school. You would say she is in grade 3, or she is in grade 1, or she is in university. You always say which grade she is.
It's specific.
Yeah.
Teacher, but for example, if you want to talk about angles, inclination, or temperature, we have to say the same word, right?
You don't. No, you do not have to. You do not have to. The word grade talks about specific points on what we say a continuum. So on a slope. So if you have a graph, I will show you. Are you excited for my art?
Yes. Everybody.
Another type of class, drawing.
For example, if I want to talk about the inclination of a tower, we use
Draw
graphs.
class.
Here's a graph. That is a graph. A graph. If I say, so here, I'm going to pretend I didn't do those dots. But if you have if this is your graph, hang on. example of a graph. So if you have grade, this is the grade in school, and this says difficulty. So as the grade increases, the difficulty increases. So this is how grades always work. There's always some kind of like correlation. So if you are like talking about a grade, you are talking about a specific thing about each grade. There must be something consistent. If you are just talking about something that looks like this, you talk about it as a slope. You talk about it as a slope. Slope.
Okay, but for example, we are travel by car and have a street with a slope, or yeah, it's correct?
Yes.
Street with a slope. Okay.
Perfect. This street has a slope. We are on a street with a slope. Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
When you use grade, you are more talking about something specific. That is why we talk about grades in school. Because everyone knows.
You speak about point on the slope or on the... Yes.
So yes, it is actually points on the slope. You could actually talk about points on the slope. So it is difficult for me because grades are on a slope, but a slope does not necessarily talk about grades, even though they are so similar.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, no problem.
You
Okay.
can understand.
Yes. So sorry if I'm not explaining that very easily for you, but if there's any questions, like when you would want to use it, you can Facebook message me any examples you might have if you have any questions. Okay? Okay, let's continue. So we have now we have the word grayed. That just means turning gray. So let's use this in a sentence. If something has grayed, that means it has turned gray. It is like using the color gray as a verb.
The sky is great.
Pardon me?
The sky is great.
Yes.
Teacher,
yes.
when it's happened with someone, when someone turn grade color, when? Could you understand me?
Autumn.
Sorry, give me 1 second.
Okay. You can say and write at the same time.
Yes.
Okay, I understand now.
Like this. Yes. So you would say like his hair grayed because you're actually talking about it as if it is a verb. You use it as a verb. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Teacher, you can are you talking about the color? Any people can turn a blue, turning blue like a misery goats, misery goats.
Oh,
Blue?
I see. I see. So you're saying like, could you say he blued?
He blued.
Is that what you're asking?
Yes,
Yes.
I'm talking about misery goats, persons, misery goat persons. I have heard about this can be called like a blue person. I think you are talking about color, and I remember that.
Yes. I see. Okay, so first thing, you only use a word. You only turn the verb. There are some colors that we turn into verbs for some reason. For example, you would not say he blued or he redded, but you could say like the colors gray and yellow. You would use those as verbs, like as the lemon ripened, as the lemon became good to eat, it yellowed. So you use it as a verb, but you do not use that with the word red or the word blue. But or for example, I can't think of another example. Like you don't use it for orange, but you use it for yellow and gray.
Okay,
But
but
you
I
are-
can say you are blue today. I can say it. Are you
Yes.
blue today?
Yes.
What
I have
makes
a
you blue
question.
today? I can say
Yes.
it. Okay,
So
okay.
Jiao is saying, can you say to someone, you look blue today? So Jiao, what does blue mean?
Blue,
If you don't
misery
mean the
goat,
color.
misery goat, misery goat, misery goats.
Miserable.
Did you
Miserable?
miserable?
No,
Miserable.
misery goats, like a depression. People who like to
Can you write that in the
to
chat? Because I know the word misery and I know the word
misery
miserable.
goat,
Like
misery
shade.
goats. Depressed is this? No, sorry, misery. Sorry.
Miserable.
Okay, so those word
It's the
guts,
same.
that's not that is not, we don't use that when we say the word guts. We are talking about all of your internal inside of your body, all of the organs. So your heart, your digestive system, your intestines, those are your guts, and your stomach, those are your guts. So we don't use that word. We would say miserable. So you look miserable. You look blue. You look
It
depressed.
look blue.
Teacher,
Depressed. It's
I have a
not
question
common.
about it.
Okay.
For example, I have listened a lot of times that, for example, in the United States, people use the word blue for talk about sadness. For example, in a sound, I listen the word, the phrase, my heart is blue, for trying to say my heart is sad. Why they use blue?
Yeah, exactly. So that's exactly it. When we say the word blue, if we are talking about the color, then we're talking about the color. But sometimes we mean it to mean depressed. The word depressed, the feeling of depressed, if you had to put a color to depressed, you would put probably blue or gray or black. So it just became an expression. It became an expression that we use. So when we say, oh my goodness, you look so sad today. Why are you so blue? Why are you so blue? Or I've got the blues. I've got the blues. That means, oh, I am in love, but the person who loves me does not love me back. I have the blues. That means I'm miserable. I'm depressed.
In Brazil, we have an expression with blue, but for example, everything's blue. I mean, everything is okay.
Interesting. That's like the opposite.
I'm not sure, but I think we have this expression here.
Yes, we
I
have.
never heard this expression in Brazil. I'm a Brazilian, but I never heard this expression.
Yes, Talita agree with me.
Yeah.
Talita, are you? Yeah, blue in Brazil has this
Yeah.
means? Has this mean? I've never
Yes.
heard. Okay, go on.
So someone is asking in the chat, can you say, when you say, sorry, can we use, I think you meant, can we use grade to describe a bad mood? No, the word grade literally means something turned gray. So the example I gave was that his hair grayed as he got older. And that is pretty much the only time we really need to use the word gray. Or, sorry, the example Andre gave. I'll just type it here.
I think grade may be meaning pale, shallow,
Great.
pale.
It was about rain.
So you know how sometimes the clouds are gray?
Yeah.
So we know that the clouds are going to, when the clouds are gray, it is going to rain. So the example that Andre gave, he said, the sky grayed. So if the sky was blue and then it became gray, it means it has grayed, and we know it is about to rain.
Teacher, and for example, in the afternoon when the sky it turns red or in a different color, how could we say this in English? It's not great, but will be in other color.
Can you say that one more time, William?
For example, in the afternoon, you say that great, for talking about the sky, it's when it's going to rain, right? But for example, in the afternoon, the sky, it turns red or yellow. How could we say this in English?
there are poetic ways of saying this. So it is not common to say the sky has yellowed and turned orange. Sorry, I'm not very poetic, but it is not common to say that the sky yellowed, but you could say that it turned yellow by saying the sky yellowed. But we don't actually have a word that means that the sky started looking that way. We only have the word, there was a beautiful sunset. The word sun, oh, I will teach you the difference between sunset and sunrise. Do you know the difference?
No. Yes, like Joe Jr. He has a picture for sunset.
This whole not being able to talk while I'm typing is getting very annoying. Okay, so I gave the example here. Sunrise is in the morning because the sun is rising. So you may say one day, I woke up before sunrise. I woke up before sunrise. That means you woke up so early that the sun had not even come up yet. The sun had not rise, and rise means to go up.
Yeah.
And sunset means that the sun is now, it has gone all the way over the sky, and now it is setting. So it is
Teacher,
about to set.
Could you write it, the last two?
Sunset and sunrise?
Sunrise, no, the last. Sun two? Sunset?
Sunset. Yep, I put them both here in the chat, but I'll put them again. Can you see that? I put them in the Google chat for you because I don't know if you're on the Verbling chat. Do you see it, William?
Yeah. Thank you.
Good. You're welcome. Good. So that is and when you're talking about the sun starting to look like it is turning red, you would just have to describe it. So in answer to your question, we do not have a word that means that the sky is changing color to be red and orange and yellow. We would describe that as a beautiful sunset.
Yes.
Yes. And because I really do love sunsets so much, for those of you who like sunsets like me, this is what a sunset looks like.
Me too.
Wow.
Me too. I love sunset and sunrise. Both.
We have an expression. When we look at something like this, I think I would give anything to be there right now. I would give anything to be looking at this right now.
What
especially when we have an expression, and it is, I will just type it first. Like this. So you can say, I would give anything. That means anything that I have, and I'm just gonna, I think that's you, Shady. I'm just gonna put you on mute because I'm hearing I'm hearing like echo from you. So if you say something like, I would, looking at that sunset, when I look at that sunset, I want to be there. I want to be there so bad that I would give my house. I would give my house to someone. I would give my boyfriend. I would give anything you want.
Yes.
I like it.
This is an expression. You say, I would give anything. I would give anything you want. I would give it to you because I want to be there. And you will hear this very, very often in English. Oh my gosh, I would give anything. I would give anything. That means I want that so bad. I would really love that. We don't actually mean I would give anything, but it is an expression we use all the time. And sometimes we just say, again, this is an expression that does not make much sense, so I will explain it. It's, oh, what I would give. What I would give.
When you wish something.
Yes, it's like, what I would give. Well, I would give anything. But it is like a shortened version. It's like, Oh my gosh, what I would give to be on that sunset. What I would give to be on a beach with a beautiful sunset right now. Okay, and if you could just stop putting all those H's in the chat, that would be great. Yes, so that's a great an example of how you would use that. So if someone says, "Oh, I'm going to Italy tomorrow," you might say, "Oh, what I would give." You don't need to say anything after. That means as an expression, I would love to be there. It means the same thing as I would give anything. I would give anything to be there.
It's not an expression only in Canada. We have this expression here in Brazil too.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
The same meaning.
Can you say it in your language, just so everyone can hear what it is?
Ai, o que eu daria.
We have it too in Spanish.
Oh, what is it in Spanish?
Yo daría lo que fuera in Spanish.
Good, good. This is good. So when people are viewing, if they don't understand me, they can hear you say it. That's great. Good, good. Okay, let's move on. So we know what those are. Any questions right now?
No.
No.
It's okay.
Good, good. So when you're talking about grade, you almost always talk about it. Someone said this in the chat. It means like if you are grade, you are aging. So somebody who is aging grays, which means they turn gray, essentially. Their hair turns gray. Sometimes their skin turns a little bit gray. Okay. These two things. So we have great and great. Great and great. This one, you know this one. This means when you are going to, again, I think, Shady, if you could please get some headphones for next class. I'm just hearing a lot of noise. Great is something is really good. Something is really good.
That's great.
Yeah, yeah.
Pretty good.
Yes, exactly. And then we have this one, and I'll just show you actually what. Do you know what it means to grate cheese? To grate cheese. I don't know if one of you were at my kitchen class, but I just got up to get you an example of what it means to grate cheese. G-R-A-T-E.
Yes, yes. I remember.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you can see here, these are very sharp like this, and I take the cheese. This is my cheese, and I go like this. And then the cheese falls out down here.
For spaghetti.
Yeah, it looks like spaghetti once you grate it, like tiny pieces of
And the
spaghetti.
cheese and ready.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so that is what that means. So we have grate to grate cheese. The thing I showed you was a cheese grater. Using a cheese grater like that. Okay, let's move on. So we've got Greece and Greece. Greece, this one is the country, Greece. You know the country Greece, right?
Yes.
And then we have grease like this. It is a lubricant for, let's say, for vehicles.
But the car.
Grease. I know it.
Yes, Andre.
For your car.
You need grease for your car. Or what is another example of grease? What is another example of grease?
Fat.
Yeah,
Grease.
fat. Exactly. Thank you, Mario. So we've got like the fat from, it is lubricant for vehicles, or
Bikes.
the fat from animal meat. So, Mario, can you give me an example of how you would use grease in a sentence?
There's a lot of grease in the
This is
fast
used
food, for
for-
example.
This is used for bread. Sorry.
It used for bread. Oh, like dipping into bread?
The bakery.
Oh, here, I'll get you in a second, William. But Marlo, are you trying to say a pot or pan?
Yeah,
Is that what you were trying to say, Mario?
I said the could have a lot of grease, for example, in the junk food, for example.
Sure, sure. There's a lot of grease
In junk food.
or
Right.
or you could say, you know, when you eat chips, and then you look at your fingers and they are like you have dipped them in water. They are so wet.
Yeah.
They are wet with grease. You say, "Oh my gosh, this is greasy."
Greasy. Mm.
So that's what greasy means. Great. So we know the difference between these two. Any questions about grease and grease?
No, it's okay.
The biggest thing is knowing the difference between like GREASE and this one is GREECE. So sometimes I saw another student a while ago, they wrote Greece, this kind of Greece, like the country, but that is offensive to the country. You don't want to talk about this kind of Greece if you're talking about this beautiful country here. Okay, then we have these two. We have groan and groan. This is the past tense of to grow. It means something has gotten larger, right? And then we have this word, groan. This is a joke. It is a reaction to hearing a pun or boredom. So it's basically...
It's a murmur.
Did you say a murmur?
Yes.
Yeah.
When you see a ghost.
Okay, so groan. Did someone say it's like a gust? Did I hear gust?
Yeah.
And what did you mean by a gust?
A ghost.
A ghost?
Ghost, yeah.
Can you type that word in the chat?
A ghost, like a spirit.
Yes. Ghostbusters.
Ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the word ghost, but the word groan does not apply to ghosts. It doesn't really apply to ghosts.
Okay.
I will just show you. If you don't know what like a ghost is, well, actually, all these pictures are really scary. But this is like when you are younger and you want to dress up for Halloween, and your parents say, "Oh, you know, I don't really have a lot of money to buy you a costume, so why don't you just be a ghost?" This is what you
Yes.
get.
This is the best solution.
Yeah. Or here's another example. Yeah, a simple 10-minute ghost costume. All you need is a pillowcase or a bed sheet, like this.
Costume.
Yes. So this is a ghost, right? These are examples of like a ghost. And sometimes ghosts are very scary, like they look like this. That's a ghost.
Oh my gosh.
I don't like them.
Yes, these are scary ghosts. Or this one's really scary.
It's a bad dream.
Yes. Yes. Okay, let's continue. Ooh, this is getting scary. Very scary class.
Stop this. I will move on.
Remove.
We're not gonna sleep tonight.
Talita,
Yeah.
I wish I could see your face when you were doing that. Okay, so we know what a ghost is, but now we're talking actually about groan. So when you groan, let's say your teacher says, okay, everyone, now we are all going to learn about what is something you did not like learning about? What was a subject in school you hated?
Math.
Physics.
Math. Physics. Good. So what if your teacher came in one day and said, Marcos and Talita, today we're going to spend all day doing math and physics.
I'm sorry, I will go home. Sorry.
If you were a younger kid, you'd probably say, "Oh, that's a groan." A groan is when you're like, "Oh."
Damage.
Like, yeah, like you're not happy. You don't want to do this. Or I say, "Okay, everyone ready? I'm going to tell you a joke." And you know my jokes are not very good. So you all say, "Oh." That is a groan. When that is an example of a groan. Or when someone says, okay, I'm going to do a verbaling class on tea, which I did for 5 classes last week. You might say, oh, I don't want to learn about tea.
Teacher, I think you could be a great actress.
Yes.
I took drama in university. So
I see.
this
It
is
serves
why.
the Oscar.
I said to my colleagues, my verbaling teachers, I said, you know, I think this is the perfect job for me because I have an education degree, an English degree, and a drama degree. So it's just great. But so we understand a groan is when you are not impressed. You are not happy about something that's going to happen, and you are bored with it. You don't want it. Okay, so let's move on. We've got groan and groan. Hey, I have a challenge for, let's say, someone who's not spoken a lot. Nicholas, can you try to think of a sentence that has both of these versions of groan in it? So one with groan, like G-R-O-A-N, and one with groan with G-R-O-W-N.
In one sentence?
Try it, yeah.
It is difficult.
I believe in you.
Wait me.
And if anyone else thinks of something, you can get ready.
I've grown very fast.
I don't know how make together, put together this
Here,
word.
that's okay, Nicholas. Why don't you give us 2 separate ones then?
The dog has grown too much.
The dog has grown too much.
Yes.
The dog. Great. And what about this one? Grown.
He grown because he must do the homework.
So we would say because he had to do. Because he had to.
He had to.
Good. Good. So when his mother said, now, Nicholas, you must do your homework, Nicholas said, oh.
Yes.
Good. Great.
For maths.
Good. Great. So we've got groan and groan. Does anyone have an idea of how to use the word 2 groans in one sentence? If you do, give an
I
example.
have one, but it doesn't make much sense. Like when the teacher told us that we have to watch a tree grows, everybody groans.
Well,
Got it?
can you say that one more time?
When the teacher told us to watch the tree grow,
you can say the 3 grown-up kids. So let's say you are a young kid.
No, I mean the plant, the tree.
Tree.
Oh, I see.
Yes. Watch the tree grow, everybody groaned.
The only thing with this is that that wouldn't be, because this has to be the past tense. So let's do this. Let's fix it up a little bit, because I know what you mean. So I'll just write down what you said, and then we'll fix it.
Okay. Just add the ed on the ground, right?
Yeah, that's fine. That one's fine.
When the boss told me your mistake have been grown, so I groaned.
Ooh, that's good too. Okay, remember that. I'm just going to try to fix this one. When the teacher told us to study, because groan is what we say, it's a past tense verb that means it happened once in the past. It happened once in the past, and now it is done. So it would not be like a continuous action of something growing up. So if something is fully grown, it means the tree has grown and it is not getting any bigger. It is grown, so it will not get any bigger. It is already done. It is one action. When something is grown, it is done. So if you have to study, how did this tree become the full size? The whole class would say, "Ah." So that is a good example. That is a good example. And what was that other one? Who had that other example?
When my boss told me your mistake have been grown, so I groaned.
Good, good, okay. Good. When my boss told me my mistakes had grown, I groaned. Good, good. And I see a really good one here in the chat that I'm going to copy. Lady Remark. So I'm going to copy and put this in here. So she said, he's grown, and every time when his mother says, my little boy, he groans. Right? So when your mother says, oh, he's my little boy, right? The kid says, oh, mom, stop. He groans. Good. Good. Okay. These are great examples that you're coming. I groaned when my car broke down on the street. Yes, these are great. I groaned when my car broke down on the street, says Andre. Yay. Okay, let's continue. So we know groan and groan.
Teacher,
Yes.
when some people are is sick, can and be very very sick, this person can make some noise, and it is can call it grow, like oh. Can be.
Oh, that's really, really good. Yes, definitely. Definitely. So the groan is a sound that we make. So it's normally used when we are bored with something, but you are right. If someone is sick or they are dying, sometimes they make the sound that sounds like a groan because they are in pain. So we should write that down here.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, teacher.
Yes, you're welcome. Thank you.
The sound in Egypt is off.
Off.
Off. Yes. The
So,
meaning off. I don't know why they put F in the last the word. Oh, why F?
Oops, sorry, I meant to keep this on my screen. Let's hope it stays there now. Okay. So I'm just writing this down. Sometimes people who are sick, sometimes people who are sick are in pain, and they make the groaning sound. She could not sleep because she was so sick, and I like this, right? She could not sleep because she was so sick, and I could hear her groaning all night. Yes, absolutely. That's a great example. Thank you so much for that.
Is this the same meaning with moaning also?
Very, very similar. Moaning is not normally used for like when you are bored. You don't moan when you are bored.
Okay.
It is funny because it is a similar expression. I mean, it is a similar sound. But moaning either shows like pleasure, like when you have a massage. When someone is giving you a massage, you will go, "Oh, it feels so good." So it means pleasure, or it means pain. So when you are sick, you are groaning and moaning. I'll put that here in the chat.
Groaning and what?
Moaning.
And I'm going to explain the difference just quickly.
Teacher, moan, and it's the same. It's to complete something. I'm right. Moan. In the groan, it's and you like you said, message when you receive some kind of message, you say, "Oh, it's good." I use groan, and when people sick or complain about something, the people moan like, "Oh." Yes.
Well,
am I right?
well, I said not quite. I said in the chat, we have moan, which is like a positive or negative. So it means pleasure or pain. So when someone moan, the word moan means like when something or sometimes you are carrying a very heavy bag for many hours, and then you take the bag off. When the feeling of the bag being taken off, you'll go like, oh. Like, oh, that felt so good.
It is moan.
This is a moan because it is for pleasure. If it is for pain, you can either use moan or groan. But the difference, so if you are talking about pain, it does not matter which word you use.
Okay,
if you are talking about pleasure, do not use groan. And if you are talking about boredom, you use groan. You do not use moan.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Good. Okay, I think that we are in a time machine, and time is going by quicker than it's supposed to be because we only have time for one more.
No.
I know. I don't know how this happens, but the good thing is we will definitely do this soon.
Oh no.
Oh my gosh.
And Assam, I don't know what's going on with your computer, but for some reason you are... Anyways, if you could stop doing that in the chat, that would be great. Okay, let's continue. So we have guest and guest. These are common because guest is the past tense of the word to guess.
Teacher, I have a question here about these two words. For example, the first one, sometimes I have listened the expression take a guess, and they change the meaning. For example, you don't have the ed at the end, but the word guess. I have listened the people said take a guess, and they trying to say something very different than the meaning for this word.
Good question. There's not a difference in meaning. So Willian is giving the expression when you say to someone says, let's say, here's an example. Let's say I said earlier to I think it was Mario. I think it was Mario, and I said, no, it was Nicholas. I said, try to make a sentence with both of them. And he said, oh, like I don't know. And I said, oh, no, that's not a good example.
I guess.
Scratch that. That's not a good example. Let's use the example. If I said, what is a sticky note? What is a sticky note? You may not know. Ooh. Oh, Marco, we had some sound coming from you. If I said, what is a sticky note? You might think, I have never heard that before. I don't know. And I will say, take a guess, which means guess. It's the exact same. If I say take a guess or if I say guess, it means the same thing. So if I say take a guess, you will say, well, it has the word sticky and it has the word note. So maybe it is a note that is sticky. So when I stick it on something, it will stick like this. Okay? So a sticky note. That's an example. So you don't know what a sticky note is, but you hear sticky and you hear note and you think, well, I can take a guess. But maybe, William, you're thinking of when people use it sarcastically. Sarcastically.
I guess.
When someone, so, and if, for example, I am very sad, I'm very sad looking, and I'm sitting like this, and someone says, hey, how are you doing today? How are you doing? I'm doing really great. How are you? I might be like, take a guess. That means like I'm obviously very upset. So when I say take a guess, it's kind of like not a nice thing to say. Not a very nice thing. It's like a it has attitude. It is kind of sarcastic because it is obvious.
Or for example, if someone asks to me, is it a good idea? I can answer, I guess.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And there's another way of using it. So you're saying when someone says, should I do this? Should I buy this or this? You might say, well, you could do this, I guess, which means I don't know. I'm not going to say to you, this is the good idea. This is definitely the good idea. I'm going to say, well, I guess it's this, or it's this, I guess. Yes, absolutely.
Teacher, I guess is the same to say, I think so? Is the same?
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same.
Okay.
It's just, it's more common to say, I guess.
I guess. Okay.
Or when you say I think so, it is more affirmative. It is more like I believe in what I'm saying. Like, for example, if you said to me, do you think, here's an example.
Okay.
Andre Facebook messaged me and he was saying, you know, and I get these emails sometimes, students will say, do you think I'm improving? And with Andre, everyone should just be so proud because he's doing so well and he's improving all the time. So I said to him, I think so. I think you are improving, absolutely. But if I said, I guess, that is like not the same meaning. Because I guess means something more like, well, I don't know, but if I had to guess, I guess. Or I don't know, I don't care, I guess. So,
okay.
So if you say, for example, do you think that it is healthier to eat broccoli every day or every other day? I would say, well, probably every day, I guess. Which means I don't really know, I don't really care, this is my best guess. Okay? Do you see a little bit of the difference?
I could see.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Then we have the word G-U-E-S-T, guest, spelled like this.
Honor guests.
Yes, yes.
Teacher, I have a other question about this word, guest. For example, I sometimes I listen to the phrase "be my guest." This is an expression, but it's for try to say, for example, when you are trying to say polite, when you are to invite something, be my guest.
Yeah. So that is first off, I'd just like to reply to Edmar in the chat. You're saying, is abashed, embarrassed, and ashamed mean the same thing? Similar, I'll get to that in a second after we finish this word. So that was, who was asking that question? Was that William?
Mm.
Or wait, who was asking that question?
Mario, I think.
Mario. No.
No, that was me.
Was that Shady?
Marcos?
No, not me, not me.
Who was
The
asking
word.
that?
William.
Me.
Who said be my guest?
Yeah, be my guest.
That was you. That was you, William. Okay, yeah. So be my guest. This is an example of something that could be used in a very nice way or in kind of like a sarcastic way. So you can say to someone, for example, let's say one day Mario says, Lauren, can I explain to the class what homonyms are? Can I explain to the class? I will say, absolutely, be my guest. That means I welcome you as I would welcome a guest to my home. A visitor to my home, I would say, come inside, do whatever you want, feel comfortable. So be my guest in that way is like, yes, I will treat you like my guest in my home. You can do whatever you want here. So that is a really nice way of saying, be my guest, yes. If a friend comes over, for example, and I'm cooking, and she says, oh, like, can I help you cook? Can I stir your soup? Or can I do this? I would say, be my guest, absolutely, sure. Or if they want to eat some of my food, even if I'm not at home, I am at my work, and one of my work colleagues says to me, Lauren, can I have some of that? Or can I do this for you? Be my guest. It's a nice thing to say. It means yes, absolutely. I will treat you with hospitality. I will treat you very, very well. I will be generous to you. Sometimes it also is used kind of like, I shouldn't say sarcastically, but not as welcoming. For example, let's say you are at work and someone comes up to you and says, oh, you're not doing that. You are not writing correctly. You are not doing this well. You are not typing fast enough. Can I do it? Can I do it? Let me do it. Let me do it. I'll be faster. You might say, be my guest. Be my guest. This means I'm kind of being polite, but I'm not really. It's used in a way of saying, fine, be my guest. Be my guest. You want to do it? You want to do more work? You don't think I'm doing a good job? Be my guest. Do the work. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yes.
So William, it can be used very nicely or not very nicely. But it is a way to tell someone that, yes, I do not mind if you do that. If you do that. Quickly, right before I end class, I'm going to explain the difference between the two words, embarrassed and ashamed. Embarrassed and ashamed. Embarrassed is a very common word. You can do anything and be embarrassed. I'm hearing some noise coming. I think it's Marco. Yes, I'm hearing some noise coming. Oh, sorry. If you are talking about being embarrassed, for example, let's say I'm drinking and then water falls on me. My water from my cup falls onto me. I would say, oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed. I'm so embarrassed, which means I'm nervous that you saw me do that. Or I'm very nervous that it's like being nervous and knowing that you look very silly doing something. Or let's say you are walking out of the bathroom and you have toilet paper hanging off your pants or on your shoe. Toilet paper.
Yes.
Okay? So and you are walking and someone says, oh, Lauren, you have toilet paper on your shoe. I would say, oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed. I went to the bathroom an hour ago. No. Okay? This is embarrassed. But if you've done something horrible, that, for example, people in prison, in jail, they have done something horrible. They have hurt someone or they have injured someone or killed someone or done something horrible. They should be not embarrassed, but ashamed of themselves. Ashamed. which means the word shame is much worse than the word embarrassed. So, for example, if a man or a woman cheats on their husband or wife, so they cheat, they go and be with another person other than their husband or wife, that is called something that is shameful, and they should be ashamed. So it's not like, oh my gosh, I'm embarrassed. It's like, I am ashamed of myself. I am ashamed. Do you understand the difference?
Yeah. For example, if your boss scream with you in front of your coworkers, you will be ashamed?
Sure, because maybe you did something horrible. Maybe you really did something bad. But normally we use the word, I am ashamed of myself, meaning I did something that I knew was wrong.
Yes.
I'm just going to type this out. So I just wrote this in here in the chat now. So being ashamed means you did something knowing that it was wrong. You did it and you knew it was wrong and you did it, and then later you feel ashamed for what you did. You are ashamed. For example, a person gets, let's say a person goes to a bar and gets too drunk at a bar. They are ashamed of themselves the next day because they think, I knew I shouldn't have done that. I should not have done that, and I'm ashamed of myself. I'm ashamed that people saw me and I was rude, or I was in some way, I did something that was wrong and I knew it. I knew I shouldn't have done that. But if you are embarrassed, it is less, it is not quite being ashamed, it is less, because you did a mistake. It was an accident.
A silly mistake?
Yeah, it could be a silly mistake. It could be a big mistake, but if it was a mistake, which means you did not mean to do it, then you call it being embarrassed.
Okay.
Right. Any questions before I must end class?
So far, so good.
We're good?
No.
Okay, great. Well, I've put my verbal book info in the chat as always. So I hope to see you at my next classes. I have a lot of classes coming up in the next 2 weeks.
Yes.
Okay.
So I hope to see you then.
Okay.
Bye
Many
for
thanks.
now.